Amazing. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We need to ingest this. Huh. Yeah. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. It's Friday. It is Friday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. 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 There's a brand new number, and all week I have been trying to get it right.
What the?
E-Black. And the number doesn't make sense to me. I think that's why. It's like, it seems like an off number. You know, like some phone numbers, they just don't work. They don't fit. If it don't fit, I'll quit. If it don't fit, I'll quit. So here's a new number in case, and this number is for those who are out there busy and you want to listen to the show live. You want to listen to it live, and you know you're going to podcast later too if you want to. And so you can listen to this show by calling this number on your iPhone or iPad. And some of you like doing that. And I'm having a hard time with this new number because the number is new. And I'm like, what the? So I'm going to try this number one more time. I think I should know it by now. It's been all week. So I think I should know that number. You remember a time when we didn't have cell phones and we had to remember people's phone numbers? Wasn't that better for you? I just remember every one number that I needed to remember. And you just call it up. And now you don't remember people's cell phone number or house phone number. And if you lose your cell phone, you lose your numbers. And you're like, what am I going to do now? So I'm going to try to remember this number. And this is for those who listen about their phone or their cell phones or iPads or whatever. All right? Brand new number on TalkStream Live. Here we go. I'm nervous. Because I want to, this day, I want to make sure Joe said, it ain't the number, Jesse. It's you, Black. He black. He black. So here we go. Now that I brought all the attention to it, I'm nervous even more. Here we go. And this time I'm going to repeat this number without one mistake. So for those who are out and about, you can't listen to the show, sit and watch the show, you can listen live on your iPhone or iPad by calling TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. Yes! I got it. Amazing. No, amazing. Amazing. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. And also, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JessonLeePeterson.com/show. JessonLeePeterson.com/show. And my biblical question. The biblical question. I'm kind of waiting around for Nick, so that's why I'm slowing a little bit silly. I'm waiting for Nick. Waiting on Nick. He's waiting on you. My biblical question. What is real power? What is real power? Power. Everybody and they mama. If you're black, everybody and they mama. If you're white, everyone and their mother want power. They want power. Nick said he's ready.
Jesse,
What?
you got express yourself. Good to go.
I have it?
Yep.
Oh, thank you, sir. Okay. So it is Friday. It's getting. Speaking of Friday, Hake may tell you guys about his teeth surgery yesterday. Apparently, he went to the dentist, and so now his face looks all swollen.
That's just my face.
That's just your face? Oh, God, you're getting old. How old are you now? 40?
42.
Wow.
42 and a half.
42 and a half. Why do people always tell you how old they gonna be instead of how old they are? But anyway, it's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the President to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses.
These wicked witch of the West.
Not your friends.
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
These people are not your friends.
Yes, they are my friends.
I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with.
Here's a crazy video from Ole Miss during a protest last week.
USA! USA! USA!
Student make during a face he makes during a protest, a racist rant against a black female protester. Since then, that male student was kicked out of his fraternity, but Ole Miss says they are still investigating the matter.
They put him out of school for that? Is that real? That is crazy. That is insane. I noticed that in America now, it is all the way now, it just is. It just is. They can care two cents about white people. Nobody care anything about the whites. It's not even like, or let's take a moment and think about white people. After all, they found and built the greatest country in the world, right? They don't care one iota about the whites anymore. It's about everybody but the whites in their own country. One other thing I noticed that our government is dysfunctional. We have a dysfunctional government, period. Republicans and Democrats. They're dysfunctional. They serve no meaning at all, zero. I was like, I didn't realize that we had a dysfunctional government. Our government does not function. Think about that. I want to go to Megan, a first time call out of Texas. Megan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
All is well.
So I have a couple questions I'd like to ask you.
Ask.
Ask. So to start, I'm going through a breakup with an individual. You actually spoke with him privately on Monday, and I don't hold any anger or resentment. I even understand where he's coming from, but I do feel just a general sadness about the whole situation, losing him as a partner, but also I feel I'm losing a friend. And I guess my question is, if I'm holding on to that sadness, is there something that I need to be forgiving? Because I don't feel anger or resentment.
The only thing you need to do with the sadness is just watch it, but don't call it you, but watch it and just watch it until it's taken away from you, because you are not the sadness. That emotions, or those emotions you're having, are evil. So be glad to see them, but do nothing about it. Don't fight it. Don't try to get rid of them. Don't try to make them use them for good feelings or bad feelings. Just watch them so you can overcome hell.
Okay. I do my silent prayer. I do it morning and night, and I really do think that I'm trying to overcome, at least doing the best that I can. And I think there's part of me that maybe feels like I'm pretending because I haven't yet overcome.
The best way and the right way and the only way to overcome is by not trying to overcome. It's enough to see what's going on inside of you, and seeing it will cause you to overcome it. There's nothing you personally can do about it. And that's what the devil wants. He wants you to believe there's something you need to do and can do when it's really not. It's a spiritual battle. And the devil, evil is evil to the core. And evil is afraid that you might find God. So it does everything it can to keep you from finding God, even if it has to pretend that you are those emotions, you are the thoughts, you are this, you're losing a best friend, you're losing that, you're losing that. It's lying to you. So just watch it, and it'll tell you, oh, you're just pretending. You're really not overcoming. It's not happening. It's lying to you. Watch those thoughts, and you will see that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, and you will lay down your weapon and let the light fight your battle.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I sit down to do the silent prayer and there's just nothing. I have no thoughts. I feel like I'm waiting for thoughts. And then other times I can so strongly see just the devil, pushing up 10 thoughts at a time, And
yes.
I never know how to coordinate what's practical and what do I need to let pass. And, it feels very confusing. I feel like I don't have any sort of understanding on what to do whenever it's chaotic in my mind.
And you don't have an understanding. You've never had any understanding. And that's the beauty of knowing that you don't know of yourself. You can do nothing, and of yourself you know nothing. Once you really grasp hold of that, and you stop trying, and you'll be free.
Okay.
So just watch those thoughts. Just watch them. And again, don't fight with them. Don't argue with them. Don't write down notes about them. Do nothing but watch. And never, ever, ever again try to fight in battle. You cannot fight your own battle. The light will fight on your behalf. God will save you.
Okay.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have, yes.
Good. And your father?
Well, he passed. So,
okay.
I have in my heart, I've had that kind of those thoughts alone by myself, but I can't necessarily go to him to forgive him anymore. I also forgave my stepmother, who I blamed a lot of, I had a lot of resentment towards her. So,
well, right now based on what you said, you're on your way, and now all you need to do is lay down your weapons. Don't fight, and don't fight with the thoughts and emotions inside of you, and don't fight with thoughts and emotions inside of others, because now that you're starting to wake up, the devil going to not only attack you in your mind, because he doesn't want to have to part from you, he's going to use other human beings to come and attack you as well.
Yeah, I've seen that already. Just in speaking with, another counselor that's one of the pastor's wife at a home church that my family goes to. I let her know kind of about letting the thoughts pass in the silent prayer, and she had her own opinions about that. She wasn't too happy to hear that, but I'm staying strong. I feel like I know that that's the right way, and that what you're saying and telling is the truth. So.
And another thing I want to recommend. For now, don't try to help anyone with this. Don't teach this to anyone. Don't tell anyone. You quietly overcome. You work on you, work on you, work on you. And then when God is ready for you to talk to someone else about this or whatever, He's going to, just like the devil been controlling your mind and speech and all that, God will control you. It'll be perfect and you'll be fine. If you go and tell people now, there's human beings are like evil, right? Human beings are like, I cannot express how evil human beings are. And if you tell your family members or someone now, that evilness, which is of the devil, is going to be jealous of the light in you, and they will try to destroy you.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that very clearly.
So just quietly work on you, do the silent prayer, watch the thought, go about your business, your job, whatever you're doing, and just quietly live your life, and you will become the light, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
So
I do have one other question.
Let me just say this. As far as the boyfriend that's gone, wish him well, and be glad that he's gone. So now you see all these emotions and everything in yourself, and you were trying to get something from him. You were trying to get love. You were trying to get attention. You were trying to get this or that. And he didn't have it to give to you, and you don't have it to give to him. And so be glad to see that. That's why the battle was happening, because both of you were trying to get something, and that never worked in relationships. Period.
Yeah, I agree.
And you say you had another question?
Yeah, so you spoke with a woman yesterday on your show about, I think it was in the second hour, about free will.
Yes.
And so I wanted to pose the question a different way to maybe help me understand.
Come back to your phone.
I'm sorry?
Come back to your phone. It sounds like you are not speaking right into your phone right now.
Is this better?
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
hear me?
absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I wanted to pose the question maybe a little differently to maybe you can help me understand the concept of the opinion of having free will. It's like in your case, when you kind of woke up and came out of it, was it not your free will to decide to let the thoughts pass or let the emotions pass and kind of live your paradise on earth? Like you say, was that not your free will?
Not at all.
That?
Not at all. And the only reason I was able to wake up, first of all, I didn't even know I was asleep, right? Because people, intellectuals don't know that they're asleep. And so I didn't know I was asleep until I was able to see. And then the thing I wanted was I wanted to know God. And because even as a kid, I had heard that there's a difference between God and the devil. If you're with God, you're supposed to have life. You're supposed to have perfect peace. You're supposed to have love. And if you're of the devil, you have everything opposite of that, right? I just wanted to know God, and that's what caused me to wake up after a period of time. He allowed me to see because I wanted it.
Okay.
And I knew something was wrong, but I just didn't know what was wrong.
So you don't think that it was your free will to choose to know God?
No, because had I had a free will to choose to know God, I would have decided a long time ago to know Him. I don't have a free will. We're not in control of anything. Right now, you overcome evil. Evil has been controlling you all your life. And now that you're overcoming that, God will control you. We're never in control at all about anything. We have never made a decision our whole life, never will. Can't make a decision, don't know how to make a decision. We don't know what we want, right? So we're literally not in control of anything.
Okay.
But the devil wants you to think you have a free will so that he can keep control of you, but you don't have a free will.
Okay.
If you can test this. Right now you want to overcome your hell, right? Will yourself to overcome hell right now.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you telling the caller yesterday that, and I get what you're saying in that regard, because if I could, I would, right? Like, if I could help myself, I would.
100%.
I guess I'm thinking, like, in the bigger picture, I have the free will to stay in my hell, or I could have the free will to work to overcome it, like, as a bigger choice, even though it takes work and effort.
I don't understand that.
So I could see, okay, you're telling me one thing, and this is how I can have paradise on earth, or I could say, forget all of that. I'm going to, continue to live in my hell and be unhappy and let the thoughts and everything else control me, let the evil control me. Like, I still get to choose what I want to do in that situation.
Would choose to come out. Do you want to be in your hell or you want to be out?
I want to be out completely.
Would choose to come out. I'll wait for a minute. I'm waiting till you choose to get out.
Right. It's not going to happen that quickly, I don't think.
Why not? If you have a free will, why can't you will yourself out right away?
Right. I guess I'm just not immediate, but just that it would take work is the part that I'm confused on. Is it still ultimately a choice?
What kind of work can you do to will yourself out of your hell eventually?
Well, I mean, sticking with the silent prayer and choosing to let the thoughts pass and not succumb to the emotions and feelings and the evil that is trying to control me.
But that's not you making those choices. That is God taking over, and He's doing that for you. You're not making no choices at all.
Okay. I understand. That makes sense.
Because if just think about it. If you had the choice to not be into thought, you would have let thoughts go a long time ago.
Yeah.
You are allowed now to see that you've been in thoughts. And that is by the light of God that is allowing you to see because you want it. He is allowing you to see that you've been lost in thought, in your imagination. All thoughts are all lies all the time. You can't make yourself see that you're lost in thoughts. If the light didn't shine on the thoughts, you wouldn't even know you're lost in thought. You'd think something else is wrong.
So the only way that I can know that I'm lost in thought is when God allows me to see that.
When He allowed you, when you went and forgave and He changed your heart from anger to love, and it's that love, which is the nature, the identity, the light of God, that is allowing you to see the darkness. You can't see the darkness on your own.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the devil wants you to believe that you can. He needs you to believe the lie so he can continue to control you. He wants you to think somehow or another that you have control or you can have a control, that you have a free will, you can do what you want. It's not true. It's just not true at all. But that's what he wants you to believe. And all the fake churches want you to believe that too, so they can keep control over you.
Okay. That makes sense.
Amazing, huh?
Amazing. I just wanted to ask it maybe in a way that was like a little less offensive or maybe even defensive, just because I truly wanted to understand.
When you say offensive, what do you mean?
I feel like the caller yesterday was a little on the defense about it all and maybe kind of just had an answer ready, and I really wanted to hear you out on what your thoughts were, and your opinions on that, because I've always had this thought that God gave us the free will to choose to love him or to not. And when you bring up this idea of we don't have free will, it seems counter to everything that I've been taught, my whole life. And so it's not the first thing you've brought up that seems counter to everything I've been taught my whole life either. But sometimes I listen to you and I'm thinking, I don't know what you're saying. And then later it kind of comes to me and it all makes sense then. So I just really wanted your opinion without argumentative responses or having an answer and rebuttal ready to go kind of thing. I wanted to hear you out.
Right on. You want to know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with the prayer and just watch. That's all you need to do. Don't fight. Don't argue with the devil inside of you or inside with no one else. And just watch. Stay with it and watch. Stay present and watch. Stay watch. Stay watch. That's all you need to do. The devil will try to convince you to fight. He will try to convince you there's something you can do. And it's just not true at all. When you stop believing the lie, you shall know the truth.
Okay. And one other thing, when I'm at work or, doing my daily things, chores, whatever, and I have all these thoughts that I'm seeing come up and I can't stop and really do my silent prayer in the middle of, being at work or things like that. What should I do? Do you have a recommendation? Allowing those thoughts to pass kind of quickly?
When you get practical thought about work, you need the practical thought of how to get your job done, right? But you don't live by those thoughts. But when they come up, those other thoughts come up, non-practical thought comes up. Just watch them and take a minute, a quiet minute, right at your desk or wherever you are. Just notice them and let them pass. Don't make it a big deal.
Okay.
Just notice them and let them pass.
Okay. Okay. That's kind of what I've been trying to do. I just didn't know if I was not doing something that I should have been doing.
No. You stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, and you shall know God.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right. Good talking to you, Megan. Call me again.
You too. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. 888-7753-773. Quick break. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Couple announcement. The Hake. The Hake report. The guy with the good hair is coming up. And he's on fire. He's one white man that is not afraid. He has no fear. No fear. Zero fear. Zero fear. Even when he went to the dentist, he went into that dentist chair and told the dentist, "You don't even need Novocaine." And the dentist said, "Cool." The Hake report from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And after the Hake report at 12 noon, a brand new episode of The Fallen State. And it's a doozy. I really enjoyed talking to the mother and the daughter, Leslie and Lindsay Glass. They are a mother-daughter author, duo, and co-founder of the nonprofit organization Reach Out Recovery. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I put down drugs and alcohol a long time ago. I don't want to say I got involved with the bad crowd. I was the bad crowd.
Yeah.
My daughter was not doing well. I knew there was something wrong.
Who is Lindsay?
She's my better half. I lost myself when I lost my daughter.
You're not yourself. You are your mother, and you're never going to have peace until you become you.
Wow, what an experience. And I really understand and relate to what you're saying.
I'm like, what the? I just got my Lindsay back. And you going to tell her no? It was very interesting. Very interesting. At 12 noon today. And support The Fallen State by going to thefallenstate.tv/donate, or you can do it on Locals as well. And then get ready for a smooth ride, a real ride at 4 p.m. Pacific time. A ride with a genius, the Anchor Baby, the American Anchor Baby. His energy is given to him by God.
Amazing!
The American Anchor Baby. He learned how to fly on Google. It doesn't get any better than that. The real training. At 4 p.m. today. And if you have missed his other rides, podcast, The American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m. Pacific time. Isn't that amazing? And don't forget fellowship this Sunday, every Sunday, for all at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Fellowship at rebuildingtheman.com/church. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. But if you're in L.A. or near the L.A. area, come on down. Doors open at 10:30. Fellowship start at 11 a.m. Pacific time sometimes. Sometimes we start on time. What the? So, and don't forget to donate. We appreciate your support. We need it. All right. Let me go back to the busy phones. Let me go to John, a first-time caller out of Sweet Home, Alabama. Sweet Home, Alabama. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, did the silent prayer this morning, and
speak up a little bit, John.
Yeah, I did the silent prayer this morning, and I'm a planner, a habitual planner, and so I like to think about days in the future, but some of it's practical, Jesse. So if I'm writing it down on a sheet of paper, we've got to go change the oil next week. probably not. I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of spiritual warfare with that. In
Right.
battle with the thought.
Yeah, just write that down and put it away until next week come, and then you go change the oil.
And then if my son is turning 18 in 2 years, so that date is looming in the future, or if my wife and I are praying, Lord willing, we want to get pregnant again. I'm thinking, if we put that down on paper, then there's potential. I don't know if it's risk, Jesse, but I don't think those are apples and apples. Oil change versus a major life change. It's in the future, and I know that you're absolutely right. God is in the present. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. But I was just hoping maybe for some quick advice, if you don't mind, sir.
Okay.
Thinking about those type of things in the future, and as a father and as a husband, there maybe you could fall off one side of the other. Maybe one side neglect, keep your head in the sand, but the other side is worry and stress and try to play God with those major events that are out there in the future. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
So,
okay.
What's your question?
My question is, if putting pen to paper and thinking about maybe wanting to, as a family, my wife and I want to get pregnant again.
You want to get pregnant?
Well, my wife.
Oh, so why you say we want to get pregnant?
I understand.
No, that was a question.
Well, I guess it's a team effort, right?
No.
No. Okay. Well,
Why
sorry,
do you
I'm
say
just-
we want to get pregnant when only your wife can get pregnant?
I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I'm just trying to understand. Why do you say it that way? Why do you speak that way?
Well, say we want to get pregnant. I'm not quite sure why I said we. She wants to get pregnant. I want to impregnate her. How about that?
Right.
I was trying to.
You want to
avoid
make a
being-
baby. You're never going to be able to have a baby.
That's right. I want to make a baby. Yeah, I was trying to avoid being crass with my words. I apologize.
You try to avoid being crap. What do you mean?
Crass or try to avoid being, I'm from Alabama, Jesse, and I'm not. Sometimes I try to avoid speaking roughly, and I'm not as well spoken. Roughly, yeah, I'm not as well spoken.
Why you try to avoid speaking roughly?
Well, because I'm on the air.
What?
I'm trying to represent Alabama.
But Alabama is not, the men in Alabama is not normally don't try to avoid speaking roughly. They just be themselves. Why are you being different in Alabama?
First time caller, and I'm trying to, I guess, have a measure of etiquette.
Who is etiquette?
Speaking, trying to speak in a way in public that's not offensive.
But it's offensive to say we are trying to get pregnant.
Right, yeah. You're
that
right.
goes
And I
against your
understand.
manhood.
I understand. And in today's context with confusion about gender, I appreciate you making that point. Thank you for clarifying for us. I appreciate that, Jesse.
Would your wife
Well,
will your wife beat you if she didn't hear you say, "Will you try to get pregnant?"
No, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. But go ahead. Your
So,
question for me is what?
So staying in the present, but if like I have a son, and maybe we can take that as an example. So he'll be 18, or at some point he'll turn 18, and Lord willing, and I guess from my standpoint, whether it's thinking about having to go take the car to get the oil changed, or about a life change, about seeing my son become a man and leave home. I'm trying to stay in the moment, not play God, let God be God, not live in the future. But I think maybe there may be some either I can be negligent, maybe neglect, and not think about how God, what I should do to help prepare my son, or not planning ahead for just the practical things like an oil change. So I'm asking you that if you see an opportunity in the future, or if there may be a responsibility that may happen in the future, how do we balance being responsible, planning ahead, thinking ahead, but not all, without worrying about it, and not living in the moment, not staying in the present.
Why would you think about something in the future when it doesn't exist? It's only in your mind, which is of the devil. Why would your son is not 18 at this point, and it doesn't sound like he's going to be 18 anytime soon. Why would you think about the future, which doesn't exist, when the only thing it's going to do is make you worry? Why do you listen to those thoughts?
And this is something I'm working on, Jesse.
Right.
I'm not. I don't really have a good. I haven't worked this out yet, and I'm kind of thinking maybe if you could give me an example, like the oil change is simple. You just put it on the calendar, and and know that it's going to take 10 minutes to go there, 10 minutes to come back, and that's going to be part of your day. And I'm guessing there's not a lot of spiritual warfare. There could be.
Only if you trip on it, like, oh, I'm not sure. You get the
yes, sir.
But you just keep that practical. Put it on the calendar when next might come, and you're looking at your daily calendar. That's all you need to do about that.
And would do you have experience thinking about with your prayer? Maybe it's something with your business or with a relationship.
What do you mean by that?
Maybe there's
No, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So maybe there's an opportunity for. I think you said, if I'm not mistaken, I can't exactly remember the dates for your videos are getting mixed up. But I think you said maybe recently that there might be an opportunity to move into a new building for you guys. And so that's in the future. That's a possibility in the future. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get into your personal state of mind or how you go about making decisions necessarily. So I apologize.
No, don't apologize. Just speak. Go ahead.
Okay. So if it's something more significant than an oil change, and it takes planning and thought and consideration, maybe even it's worthwhile to ask and get advice from others and get input. Do you just let all that kind of happen naturally, and trust God that if it happens, praise be to God. If it doesn't happen, praise be to God. Is this? How do you handle something more significant that you're considering in the future?
I know that at some point I want to move, and I'm not sure where now, but I want to move.
Yes, sir.
And because I want to buy my own, own building, and And I'm just waiting until that opportunity presents itself because it's not clear now what to do or where to go or when to go because the Chinese virus happened and now the economy is not working. But as of right now, my life is still working. I'm doing fine. And I'm just waiting. And when it's time to happen, if it's going to happen, it'll happen. So I don't think about it every day. I'm not planning for it. I'm just waiting to see it at this point. Rarely do I think about it, to be honest, because it's not time at this point. So I'm just still staying present and doing what's in front of me to do.
That's helpful. And you may have covered this. I'm sure you covered this before. I haven't come across it yet, and I wanted to, if I could take the opportunity to call and and bring the question to you. It's been, I understand what you're saying. So
what?
And if you covered this elsewhere at another time and another, video or something, I apologize. But I appreciate your comments on that.
Do you pray to God?
I am listening.
You listen to?
I started the silent prayer recently.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not fighting with the thoughts, and a lot of times I feel like it's just a small child on the inside, and I'm hoping and relaxing that God will show up and be God. I'm trusting Him to be Big Daddy and take care of those thoughts, the worry, the anxiety, the stress, and like this morning, it took longer to sit through the silent prayer and go through some of those things that are normally stressful or cause anxiety. But it was beautiful. It's toward the end of the prayer for me this morning. I felt at peace with God, and there's not a lot of words. My wife and I will sit usually at night and listen to your video on the silent prayer, just occasionally, just as a course correction.
Right.
Yeah, and also help with the time frame. We maybe don't go too long or don't go too short. So I'm very appreciative. I grew up in Alabama, Jesse, but I never was really taught. Maybe somebody said it, but I don't remember it. That how to be still and know that I'm God. So the silent prayer and what you recommended has been a new experience, and it's been very beneficial.
Stay with us, stay with us, stay with us. So you and your wife are working on, both of you are working on yourselves?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. Now that if both of you are working on yourselves, you have a chance to have a marriage that will last until death do you part. And so I'm glad to hear that both of you are doing it, because if one is working on themselves but the other one is not, whether it's the husband or the wife, the other one that's not working on themselves will give you pure hell, because the hell in them, the evil, will not light the light inside of you, and it will do all it can to distract you, to stop you from working on yourself. So I'm glad both of you are doing it.
My mom passed a few years ago.
You did?
Well, more than a few. That's right. More than a few, about 6 years ago.
Right.
But I called my dad yesterday. And first time I had talked to him since my mom passed. And he was on speaker. And I apologized for resenting him, and told him that I was angry at him. And that was, I'm just hoping that God will be pleased with that. So it's so fresh. I haven't had a chance to process it. Right. It just happened yesterday. So you're in California. I don't know much what else to say about that, Jesse, other than that I feel like God's working through you, to at least one guy here in Alabama. So appreciate you and your team.
You're welcome, and thank you. God is working through you too, because the same God that has allowed me to see, He's allowing you to see now, because you want it. You want to welcome the truth to come in and overtake you, and you're on your way to that. And so just do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts, and don't fight with those thoughts. Don't identify with them, the emotion and all that. The emotion and crap is evil. The thoughts are evil. So you just watch it, be aware of them. And if you go in and out of thought for right now, don't trip out about it, because you've been living in your imagination for a long time. And now you're starting to come out. Excuse me. But just stay with it and watch those thoughts. Lay your weapon down from this day forward. Never argue with the devil in your mind. Never argue with the devil in your wife. Never argue with the devil in your enemies or your friends. Stop the argument and let the light fight on your behalf. It's going to blow your mind. You'll see how much God truly loves you, and it's nothing like what you can imagine.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing, John. Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir. I appreciate the time. It was helpful. And I'm...
Hold on, John. Hold on. Sorry about that. Back in a moment. Hold on, John. From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get from Race to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com, for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man.
Whole lot of mess going on in the world. Rain, tornadoes. And who's worse, Biden, Israel, or Hamas? What a mess. The dirty video woman in that dirty, disgusting court, she was still going at it yesterday, lying and being a mess, allegedly. Anyway, this is the end of our one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Bible Thumper Thursday, May 10th, AD 2024. Women's Forum might be next week, I believe, the third Thursday of the month, right? And, of course, this Sunday, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Mother's Day. Here in America, it's so-called Mother's Day. What a mess, huh? Rebuildingtheman.com/church. You can call the Bond office if you need to confirm any info. 1-800-411-BOND. Open hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Or leave a message off hours. Brazil rain relentless. Rainfall in Brazil, according to CNN, Common Nonsense Network, has submerged entire neighborhoods and also an airport runway, with more floods likely coming in the coming days. The severe weather has downed most communications as crews search for more than 100 missing people. Wow, what a mess. And 300 tornadoes reported in the United States over the last 2 weeks. April and May, typically the busiest month for tornadoes in the country, but meteorologists say the pace this month has been extraordinary. And peace in the Middle East, not under crooked Joe Biden. CNN reports Israeli Prime Minister-based Bibi Benjamin Netanyahu said that crooked Joe Biden, the so-called president of the United States, made a mistake after the United States paused sending a shipment of bombs to Israel so that they would not be used in the invasion of the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Israel would fight with its fingernails if necessary, Netanyahu said in response. The Israeli military added they have the weapons they need for missions in Gaza, including a Rafah invasion, but a halt in U.S. weapons may significantly impair Israel's ability to achieve military objectives. They want overwhelming power and force like America has. Meanwhile, new satellite imagery shows Palestinians have begun to flee Rafah's tent cities in large numbers over the past 72 hours as they were told to evacuate by the Israelis as the threat of a potential major Israeli assault looms. And that dirty video woman in dirty court, the testimony of dirty video woman Stephanie A. Gregory Clifford, born Stephanie A. Gregory, she pushed, it wrapped up on Thursday. That's a so-called Stormy Daniels, right? After Trump's lawyers continued their rightful attack on her credibility, or really lack thereof, Stephanie pushed back on claims that she was untruthful about her alleged S-word sexual supposed encounter with Trump in 2006, saying the story was true, she claimed, even as she was confronted with inconsistencies in some of the small details, says CNN, of her account. Trump has denied the affair, and so has she. Hasn't she? Didn't she sign a statement saying that she didn't do that mess? I believe. At the end of the day, far-left liberal judge, quote-unquote, Judge Juan Merchan, he denied two defense motions on behalf of Trump, one for a mistrial based on the argument that Daniels changed her story about the alleged encounter, and one seeking a modification on a gag order so that our greatest president could talk publicly about this Stephanie gal. What a mess, huh? What a mess. And there was cyber attacks and tech failure. 224 diabetics, listen to this one, people with diabetes, they call it, were injured, according to CNN, when their insulin pumps shut down unexpectedly due to a problem with the connected mobile app, their phone app. That's what the FDA said on Wednesday. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Second hour already. That's crazy. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77 Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. Biblical question. What is real power? What is real power? Amazing, huh? What is it? If you're out and about selling fentanyl, buying fentanyl, consider suicide when the rainbow wasn't enough, depressed, lonely, sad, whatever you're doing, mad, you could be listening to the show or just working out or laying up at a beach. You could be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641. No, I'm sorry. That's the old number, see? I keep thinking of the old number. By calling a brand new number for the listen line, 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131 on your iPhone or iPad. Isn't that amazing? Yes, Jesse, that is amazing. And to donate, and I am going to get to your super chats, by the way. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. And y'all, go to my website and make a donation, all right? Don't have me asking you for it. We're helping you, so help us to help others. That's normally how it goes. All right, I appreciate it. It's Friday. It's getting off your check. Rebuildingtheman.com /donate, by the way. Or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to
The
ask
Wicked
the
Witch of the
President
West
to tell
with
us
the low IQ.
what they're going to do to protect
What a
this
nasty
country
female.
against violence if he loses.
These people are not your friends.
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
These people are not
That's
your
a third
friends.
job. They don't even know what a computer
I want to
is.
know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with.
Here's a crazy video from Ole Miss during a protest last
I
week.
love Ole Miss. They don't play down there.
Student make during a face he makes during a protest, a racist rant against a black female protester. Since then, that male student was kicked out of his fraternity, but Ole Miss says they are still investigating the matter.
Amazing. Crazy, huh? That black female had no business being out there. She couldn't take the whatever they were doing. What the? I want to go quickly back to John and wind up with John here. I put him on hold because we ran out a little time there. Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for holding. Here's what I recommend for you. Well, you already know. Do the silent prayer. You have forgiven. And just watch those thoughts. And the practical thoughts, go to work. Do those things. That's fine. And with your son, how old is your son now?
He is, he's a newborn, but I have, I have. There are young men who are working. Let's just say I'm around young men.
Are they your sons?
They're not my son. They're 15, 16, 17 years old, and they are. Some of them don't have really good situations, I guess. Sometimes we talk, and so some of those conversations come up about what they're going to do next. And I was just trying to have and I haven't interjected. I haven't retaught necessarily the things that you're teaching. I'm more asking them at the moment.
But
about
how old is your son?
he's young. I mean, he's a newborn. He's a year old.
Your son is just 1 year old, and you worried about 18?
No, sir.
What the?
I was trying to take that as a case study. That I think this week some of the videos I heard where you're talking about 18 and if you're still living at home, and those are the videos maybe a few years old, but they're new to me. And so,
but I'm a little confused because I thought you had a son that was nearing 18 years old, and I was about to tell you, make sure you continue to work on yourself spiritually, and the physical stuff too, and don't worry about your son. But if he's old enough to start doing some work around the house and fixing things and things like that, make sure he does that, so that he will always be able to work with his hands. As long as he can work with his hand, you never have to worry about him. And as far as spiritually, by you overcoming the fallen state, you will naturally be a living example for him, and you won't have to worry about that because he will become whatever you are.
Okay, that makes sense. And really, it was a case study. That was the first thing that came. Yeah, it was the first thing that came to mind. I was trying to have something to go with change the oil, something more significant.
I thought you were about to, because you said you and your wife wanted to have another baby. I thought this boy was about to leave the house and you ready to have another baby.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. We the ready to have another baby is not as hypothetical. That's more real. That's we're just now looking ahead to see, how soon.
Don't look ahead. Don't look ahead. Don't look ahead. Don't look ahead. Just make a baby. Okay. If you're ready to make a baby, make a baby. You know what I mean? Okay. You don't need to look ahead. Get into bed tonight and make a baby.
Mr. Peterson, appreciate you.
All right, man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it, John.
Okay. I know relying on the Lord, He's going to handle it, and I guess I was trying to balance staying in the moment, but also not neglecting the near future, and planning ahead, because you can't. I think it's irresponsible not to plan ahead to some degree.
How is that?
And it's just well.
If you're saying, well, I plan on take a vacation on White History Month in July. I'm gonna take a White History Month vacation. You plan for that, and once you got your plans all laid down, you're done with those plans. There's all this. You don't need to be not too much planning because you don't want to overdo that either.
Okay. So you're not ruling out planning. You're saying it's not that planning is it's always wrong to plan. You're not saying that.
No, as I just said, let's say you and your wife decide to take a vacation on White History Month. You know about White History Month, right?
Yeah. July just feels white.
It just feels white. And so you plan your vacation, and then when July comes, you'll go on your vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That's helpful. And again, you probably spoke to this before. I'm sure you have. It's probably not the first time you've been asked.
Ask.
But I haven't come across it, and since everything is still, I'm sort of new to this way of being with God, this way of God being with me. I needed I needed just to check in, Jesse, just to ask and see if before if I'm doing this right, so to speak.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Just stay with the silent prayer, and practice keeping your mind where your body is. Let's say that you're thinking about the past or thinking about the future. Just bring your mind back to your body. Become aware of your body, and you're present. And you're walking through doors, or you're getting in and out of your car. Little things like that help you become conscious. It will cause you to grow into consciousness, awareness. And God is always with you in the present. He's never with you in the past or the future. Only the evil is with you during those when you're in the past or the future. All right.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Did you have questions for me?
Did your wife go and forgive her mother?
She says she has, but it's I didn't quite, I don't know how to answer that right now.
You don't believe her?
It wasn't in the way. I don't know. I know it was before. If she did, it was before the concept that you're talking about.
Well, then she need to go back and really forgive her.
That's right. If my understanding is correct, Jesse, I think you're talking about the fallen state that we get from our parents.
Yes, absolutely, especially from the mother.
Right, and so that's the biblical idea that we have to. I mean, that's how we got here from our parents. We have to forgive.
Yes,
and then God will allow us to be reborn. So yeah, I don't think she's approached her mother in that way, but I'll talk to her, and just I'm not going to force her to do it.
Right.
I don't,
let her know she
God,
needs to forgive her father and her mother and her father.
Okay. Her dad. It's interesting. Her father passed away.
Oh, okay.
When she was probably preteen.
Oh.
And so she said that she and her mother had a rough sort of relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think that some of the things that we experienced early in our marriage, I don't know. I think maybe her not having a dad when she was sort of in that 12, 13, on up to her teenage years, not having her father in the home, probably missed out on what a loving but firm father and husband.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He wasn't there to protect her from her mother.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know.
Right.
Encourage her to forgive her father. He couldn't help himself. He loved her. He just didn't know how to deal with her mother. But she got to go and face her mother. Hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you couldn't help yourself as I can't help myself. And God will forgive her. Don't ask for forgiveness as you know, but God will forgive her as she forgive her mother.
Yes, sir.
All right. John, I got to run. It was good talking to you, man.
Happy Friday.
You too. Let me know how everything go, all right?
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Josh from Georgia. Oh, my. Hey, Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was just calling to comment on that discussion you had yesterday with Sean and Hake about where Sean said he wasn't a Christian and Hake said he was. And I would see it as like saying you're a Christian is kind of like the same thing as like just saying whether you're Irish or whether you're black, because it's just something to describe yourself. So would you, I would say I'm a Christian, but I don't identify as that. So is that Isn't that the same thing you would say? Is like saying I'm black, but I don't identify as being black. And in the same way, I'm a Christian, but I don't identify as being a Christian.
You could say you're a Christian consciously and not have to explain to anyone that you don't identify as that, because it's just a way of saying I'm a Christian. But I don't have to identify, in my mind, I don't have to identify as that.
Because isn't that almost kind of like miscommunicating? Because it sounds like, I know what Sean meant. I agree more with Sean saying he's not a Christian.
Why you agree with that?
Because it communicates that you're saying I belong with this group. I'm with I don't want to identify with any group. I think
but
that's
if you're
what
conscious, you got to communicate with people, and if you're consciously communicating, that doesn't mean you identify with it. But someone want to know, are you a Christian? Yes, I am a Christian. But that's about it. It's just keep it simple like that. And don't be like, oh my God, I'm identified as a Christian. I'm identified as a group. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's like that's the point of communication is to let the other person know, what. I think it seems like you're miscommunicating when you're saying I'm a Christian.
You said the point of communication is to what?
Is to express or describe something to another person, right?
Not really.
Like on that Fallen State episode last week with Perez Hilton, once he realized that, oh, this is a Christian conservative guy, that's when he shut off, and he didn't want to have nothing to do with, that's when he ran, right?
Right.
So it's like if he, I don't even think you said that. I guess that happened in his mind.
But I don't understand what you're saying. I do not understand what you're saying.
You don't understand it.
Right.
Okay. Because I think to me, Christianity is about not identifying with anything and not joining groups.
Why do you think that?
Because that's what works.
Christianity is the greatest religion on this side of heaven. Why wouldn't you want to mention that?
Because it's not. The whole point of Christianity is that it's not about religion. It's like Christ came to take the people away from religion, and they made a religion out of him.
But can't you know that, but yet communicate being a Christian?
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
So that's why I hated Christianity when I was growing up, and I hated going to church because I was thinking that Christianity was something that it wasn't. And then I heard your show, and that's when I see what real Christianity is.
But that wasn't the reason you hated Christianity. You hated Christianity because you hated your mother. And so you had no love for anything.
Right. Right. She's the one that took me to church too.
Yeah.
And Mother's Day this weekend too.
She gonna take you to church again?
No, I don't go to church, man.
Your mama called the other day. She said, "Come home so she can take you to church Sunday."
I know. I haven't been home in a long. I haven't talked to my mom in like 6 months almost.
Nice.
Longer. Yeah, it's been a while. So.
All right, Josh. I appreciate your call, man.
Good conversation, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
All right. Yep.
I forgot that this Sunday is Mother's Day. Did you know that, Hake?
Only from you.
Only from me?
Yep.
You didn't think about your mama?
I'm always thinking about my mom.
You got two mamas now, though, huh?
Not like that.
No,
What the?
I'm playing. But this Sunday is Mother's Day.
Indeed, it is.
Isn't that right?
You know, it's today's my mother's birthday.
Oh, yeah?
Happy birthday, Mary.
Hey, Mary. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mary. I mean that. I really wish you well. You've been a good mother and a good wife. Amazing. Happy birthday, Mary.
Nice.
Nice. Today's her birthday.
Yep.
It just occurred to you right now?
No, I've been thinking about it all morning.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
More or less.
Happy birthday, Mary. Nice. Super chat.
All right. Irene over on
Super chat.
Nice. Irene says, I agree with much of Jesse's ideas. It was a few weeks ago, Jesse was talking with a young man. Jesse said it's okay to compare himself to Jesus, which I 100% disagree. No man can.
Why is that?
She doesn't elaborate.
Jesus want you to be like him.
Yeah, you're supposed. In
To
fact,
love
the Bible tells you be like Christ.
To love the Father. Jesus loved his Father with him. He loved his Father. He want you to be like that. Love your Father. You are his brother. Why do you disagree with that?
I think because they make him into God, and then you're comparing yourself to God.
You compare yourself to your brother who had the Father in him. Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kev bought a coffee, a couple of them actually. I was once with a woman who was toxic for me. This is not a pithy one. I'll do my best. She had conditions, lupus, one of them, caused her to be at risk during pregnancy. We had to abort the baby, which we were told would be a boy. Part of me regretted that decision. It's haunted me for a while, even though she was at risk. We split up because of other reasons 15 years ago. I finally forgave myself for the decision not long ago. I now have 2 girls, 8 and 6, with my current wife, about to celebrate 12 years married. Been working on myself, leading through God's grace the past few years. Thank you for speaking words that resonate. Was I beta, though, since I was going to have a boy first? LOL. Grinning face emoji.
No, you was going to have a boy. You're not a beta.
You made a boy first,
That's
but
right.
they killed the boy.
That's right.
In order to have 2 girls later by another woman.
So you're fine.
Good job, Kev. He is now a monthly supporter on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've been going through the gauntlet of attacks from evil inside of me and outside of me and others who are close to me as well. I don't always catch my thoughts, but I'm getting more aware. Thank you for delivering God's message, he says.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. It's amazing. Thank you.
Gregatron bought it.
Thanks for your support. I appreciate it.
Gregatron bought a couple of coffees, and I sent these to you. Jesse, there's this song, and great song.
Okay.
And he said it's inspired from you talking about Brother's Keeper.
I'm not my brother's keeper. Will we be strong, weaker? Before you judge me, why not try to love me?
And I took a listen, Gregatron. That sounds more like a rap song than this song that Jesse's singing. But nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Jesse, I have a movie I want you to see. It's called with Mel Gibson.
Okay. I like
You
all
would like
the Mel Gibson's movies.
Yeah, you would like it, he says.
I'll check it out. Thank you.
You know, there's an old picture of JLP with Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah. I just worked with Mel Gibson over at Martin Luther King Hospital.
Nice.
And we would go over there and do some work, and it was amazing.
Right on. And you used to see him at the gym.
Yeah.
Before you got kicked out.
Yeah. Before I got kicked out of Equinox.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Steve bought thank you, Gregatron, for your coffees.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you for the tips. Steve bought a coffee. You can listen to the show no matter what you are doing. Even if you are setting out to kill your dog, you can listen to the show. Laughing face with tears coming out. 2 of them.
Oh, God. I don't know why people have a problem with that woman killing the dog if she want to.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
I had a caller who called in and said that she was wrong. She was trying to play man a man would have been able to make the dog behave, but she was a woman and she couldn't.
Right.
And then she was trying to play man and then bragging about it to show she can be a tough leader.
Oh.
But anyway.
But the whole point is that she was a female that could not handle a dog.
True.
That was the whole thing.
So she had to kill him.
Right. What other choice you had? Her husband wasn't going to do nothing.
Oh, yeah. Beta husband. Steve bought 3
Girl,
coffees.
so you guys are monsters.
The husband should have done the shooting.
Right.
Or call my caller.
Did she have a husband?
Yeah.
Oh,
Believe
she
it.
does?
That's what I heard. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look into her life.
Yeah. I don't know if she has a husband or not. Okay.
Steve bought 3 more coffees. Hey, Jesse, I know you have a birthday this month. So do I. Mine is today. And sometimes mine falls on Mother's Day. Mother's Day? What the?
Beta.
Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day, by the way, ladies. Happy Mother's Day.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, my mother's birthday falls on Mother's Day sometimes, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mike Young bought a coffee. Oops. Saying, hey, Jesse, why do mothers think you are being disrespectful when you disagree with them? And then when you are correct in their combative ways, then they want to try to manipulate you by trying to use the scripture about your parents. I believe it's a waste of time to talk to your parents. It really is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to know, what do you think?
I think that's amazing, Mike. Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, if she's just going to argue with you, it is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Someone bought a coffee. Hello, sir. If we are not our past, or we have never done any wrong, why do you keep calling the person evil when they haven't done no wrong? Are we our human nature because we live in these bodies? Seems confusing, sir. Or am I thinking too much?
You're thinking too much. I call them evil because human beings are evil. And it's that spirit, that nature that's in them. And it is pure evil. And until they overcome that, they identify with that. It's amazing. Thank you.
Over on D Live 555-555-565 says, in your defense, I don't even know my own number.
Oh, thank you. Nice.
You said that people had to memorize their numbers back in the good old days?
Yeah.
Now our minds are going soft because this thing is remembering for us.
Yeah, it's too bad, too, because we used to use the mind for practical things like that.
I remember seeing a Drudge headline years back that people relying on these Google Maps and maps navigation, their brains are getting weaker because they don't have to picture in their mind how to get to where they're going.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
So we're not so smart.
I got to take a quick break. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, welcome back. 888-77-53773. I'm not hearing myself. Did Nick want me to hit the music one? Is that right?
Yeah, the music one or yourself.
The music one?
Well, the music one's not for you, though. Is it for your voice?
Yeah, for my boy. Huh?
Me.
Huh?
Jesse. Jesse's almost turned it all the way up.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to get my headset right. Da. No, I see it on here.
He's going to do the master.
Okay. No, ain't nothing work. I'm not hearing me.
Still not.
Right.
I hear you.
You hear me? So I don't need to hear myself?
No, you do need to.
Oh.
I just don't
Coming.
You were hearing yourself a moment ago.
I know I was. It's not your fault, Nick. You doing an amazing job. Da. See if you hear me.
I mean, testing. Yeah, I hear everything.
You hear everything?
I hear everything.
Okay. Well, if the anchor baby here, I hear it.
Complicated business.
Complicated. Okay. The brand new episode of the Father State today at 12 noon. I talked to Leslie and Lindsay, and a mother and daughter duo, and they are amazing. You're going to like it, and you are going to enjoy it, and it's informative. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I put down drugs and alcohol a long time ago. I don't want to say I got involved with the bad crowd. I was the bad crowd.
Yeah.
My daughter was not doing well. I knew there was something wrong.
Who is Lindsay?
She's my better half. I lost myself when I lost my daughter.
You're not yourself. You are your mother, and you're never going to have peace until you become you.
Wow, what an experience. And I really understand and relate to what you're saying.
At 12 noon Pacific time, the Father State .tv. Also, check out Joel Friday. Joel is here Monday through Thursday. He's not here on Fridays, Monday through Thursday. So you can podcast Joel Friday. He black. He black. Hassan, turn down. I got to dial a phone number right now. And I need mute the call. I need until I make the number. All right. Okay. I gotta make a quick call. Sorry, folks.
I think you have to put a 1 first.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, folks. I got to do this. I have no other choice. Was that the right number? Let me start over again. Sorry. Okay. Let me put the number over here. Okay.
Okay, then unmute.
Okay, unmute. Okay, one ring-a-ding. One ring-a-ding. Remember that lady, one ring-a-ding. Two ring-a-dings.
Hello?
Hello? May I speak with Mary?
Yes, this is Mary.
Mary, this is Jesse, and you're on the air. You're on the air. You're on live radio right now.
Well, Jesse, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm just fine. How are you?
All is well. And Hake is here. You know who Hake is?
I do. I know that critter. I hear his voice. I hear his laugh. What a nice surprise.
And Hassan is here too. The audio engineer.
What the?
So, Mary, I heard that it's your birthday.
It is.
That
It
is
my
amazing.
birthday.
That's
It's my birthday, and we are at the Arboretum, and you might hear peacocks yelling.
nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Hake want to say something to you.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, James. We love you guys.
Same here, Mary. You are amazing.
Okay.
It's a Mary.
Thank you, Jesse.
This song, don't run yet. This
Okay.
song is for you. Birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mary, and many, many Mama Mia.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. That is so sweet. And happy day to you.
All right. And happy Mother's
Okay,
Day.
thanks,
Happy
Jesse.
Mother's Day. Enjoy yourself, all right?
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. And say, hey.
Okay.
That's all. Nice. Have fun
Bye,
at the
guys.
Arboretum. Beautiful
Yes,
place.
Arboretum. Thank you.
All right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye. Amazing. Amazing. That was James' mother. And that's a Mary.
Nice.
Were you surprised I called her?
Yeah, I was surprised. It makes sense, though. You do stuff like that.
Yeah. Amazing. Anyway, where was I?
We were reading Super Chats. There was calls. And
Well, let's get some calls and then finish those Super Chats and calls.
Cool.
And James been waiting for a long time. James, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding you on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
All is well, James.
I want to answer the biblical question.
What is real power? What is real power?
I was thinking about it, and I think real power is to discern truth from lies. Because I was thinking about, when was mankind at its weakest? And I think it was at its weakest when Eve believed the lie from the snake, and then when Adam believed the lie from Eve. And they were, I guess, tossed out of paradise, right? So if they were able to discern truth from the lie, they would have had the most power. And I feel like when I've been weakest in my life was when I wasn't able to know if I was being lied to and to discern the lie from the truth.
Amazing. Thank you, James. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Amazing. There's a line open, 888-7753-773. Let me go to Thomas out of California. Thomas, you're on the air. Thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Jesse, happy Friday.
Thank you, man. You too.
Yeah. I spoke with you yesterday. I know never ask a black man if he remembers. and I
Never ask
answered
a
the
black man if
question.
he remembers.
Yeah, I answered the question yesterday. That one was a doozy. I really like that one. I can't wait to hear your 2 cents on Sunday. So we already got that out of the way. So, if you have time, I'll go with my next question.
Just stay close to your phone. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I call about the concept of free will and how God gives us the choice to either to Him, turn to oneness with God, turn to good. In His dispassion, as you call it, He gives us the option to turn away from Him, play God, and turn to evil, which leads to destruction, right?
And when
My
did he
question
get-
for
when-
you-
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. My question for you would be, is I understand like you that God only God sees the end from the beginning. Fortunately, many souls will fall by the wayside, play God, and die in that condition, and then they're stuck. Right? Do you agree?
However you drop your body is how you're going to be eternal forever.
Exactly. And that happens. God gives us that choice. if he did not, that would mean he would create that particular soul destined for destruction, which he does not do. He gives us all that choice to turn to him,
I don't
take his hand, and
quite,
become one
but
with
I don't
him.
quite understand what you said about free will.
The free will is to make the choice to turn to God. That's the only choice he ever gives us.
And how do you make the choice to turn to God?
I realize I'm suffering in my sin. The birth of all sin is playing God.
You say
When
you
you play
realize
God,
you suffer
have-
in your sins?
Please.
Thomas, your phone going in and out, I guess.
Okay, how is this? Is this better?
Yes. You say you
Okay,
realize
I'm in
that
a spot.
you suffer in your sins?
Realize I'm suffering in my sin, and I realize that because I was playing God.
And what sins are you
to become
suffering?
one with God?
What sins are you suffering in?
Well, I'd rather not hang too much of my personal business
Oh, okay,
out
I
there.
understand that. But what I'm trying to understand is I don't quite know what you mean about, and you may be right, but I just don't know what you mean
Yeah.
when you said that we have a free will, we can decide to turn to God or away from God. Am I right about that?
Yes, that is the only choice every living soul
And how do
that's
you
ever walked
decide?
earth,
How do you?
except for Christ, has had.
And
Christ
how
was
do you?
born and remained one with the Father his whole life.
And how do you decide to turn away from God?
God gives all of us the gift of discernment to see. I realized in my suffering two things. Number one, every sin I committed, every bad thing that happened to me was a lesson. I begin to see this.
No, but what I'm asking
And
you,
I-
how do you decide to turn away from God?
How do you decide to turn away from God?
Yeah.
By trying to play him.
How's that? That doesn't make sense.
What earthly example would you like me to use?
You said
Um,
that you believe that we have a free will, right?
Yes.
And in that free will, you believe human beings decide to turn away from God?
They decided to, yes, they do.
And why would human beings decide to turn away from God?
Try to play God.
No.
When they do that, they turn to evil.
No, that doesn't make sense at all.
Maybe I should come at this from another angle.
Yeah.
The angle that I'm trying to come at yesterday is that, right, let's start with this. Only God sees the end from the beginning. Do you agree?
Yes.
He makes a way back for each and every one of us. Do you agree?
I don't know about that.
It has been written.
What has been written?
Way back to the Father.
Tell
no,
me
matter, no matter how severe our sins are. The one that is very bad is blasphemy.
Tell me, let me do this. I got a
Written
comment.
that is the unforgivable sin. Everything else, God gives us the way back.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Son.
Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean at all, Thomas. I'm sorry. I want to understand, but
It's okay.
but you're not making any sense.
I come to fellowship with you to try to gain understanding, not to.
That's not the issue. I know you're doing. I know you mean well. I'm just not understanding this thing about free will and human beings deciding to turn away from God.
They do that when they sin. So what happened is the devil, God gives the devil dominion over the earth, okay? And it started with Eve. And the reason why this all happened, it is not good to presume we know all the answers, because to do that is to play God, and then you go down that path, and then it leads to death and destruction, right? With what happened with Eve is the devil came and dialogued with Eve. Eve dialogued with the serpent and fell. example is born. You look into the New Testament, the first verse, it is a temptation from the devil to Christ. And then what ended up happening is the devil tried to dialogue with Christ. The word is written, gave him the word of God,
Thomas,
and then the serpent fled.
Because of time, I want you to call me again, maybe Bible Thumper
Yes, sir.
Thursday. Bible Thumper Thursday, because right now I'm just not, you're not making sense. I know you, I think you're making some sense, but not a lot of sense.
Yeah. I seek the truth, Jesse.
I know,
and
I
so do
believe
you,
that.
and God bless you for that.
I totally believe that, buddy. Thank you.
God bless.
All right. 888-775-3773. John is a first-time caller out of California. There's one line open. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes. I was calling at first. I'm black.
You black?
I was calling because at first I was thinking about racism.
Uh-huh.
Then I was thinking that maybe I have an emotional attachment to my color. That's probably why.
100%.
But I was thinking, to be religious, is that an emotional attachment too?
Yes.
But is it logical to be religious?
No.
But then, if the act is out of emotion, then can't it possibly be radical?
Repeat that?
But since the act of being religious is out of emotion, couldn't it be radical?
It is radical. Anyone that is emotional, whether so-called good emotions or bad emotions, is a radical, dangerous, evil person.
So, why is it not good to not be atheist? And why are so many people religious?
Because when you're atheist, it's another false, radical idea or identity of yourself. It's as bad as religion.
How?
It's a false identity. It's not who you are.
But to know that you don't, like scientists, right? Like how we discover new things about this universe and stuff like that we didn't know back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And just to say that, oh, God did it, or religious did that, or God made this, God did that. I watch a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he had this interview, and he talked about how every few decades we unfold things that you can't say, well, God did that. We know the scientific mechanisms of how that works. So
but real science comes from God. A real scientist is not a scientist on their own, and they don't have the ability to know science on their own. To understand science, real science, is from God.
What's the definition of God?
God. That's it.
Does it mean the person that created people, or
I'm sorry?
Is it just the person that created people? What is the definition of God when you say science came from God?
The best definition is God.
But that's kind of falling on that emotional radical side, right?
How's that?
Because there's an explanation for everything.
Like what?
Things that we can't explain, that we fall into saying that God did it, and God is the reason why, and God is the reason why for this and that.
If God is not the reason why for this or that, who is the reason why?
So there's cause and effects. There's things that cause things to have effects.
That's true. But who is causing those things? If God is not causing certain things, who is causing it?
But it's not necessarily a who. It's
what
caused it.
What caused it?
It can always just depend on what you're looking at. If you're looking at what caused humans, that's
what caused human beings, human nature to be so evil, nothing but evil, to the point that you can't even stress the depths of human nature is so evil. What caused that?
Well, it is human, acting out of emotion. We act out of emotion. That's what causes it.
I know, but what
You know,
caused human beings to be evil and act out of emotion?
Well, emotion gives us life. It gives us the meaning of life. 'Cause
Emotion
without-
doesn't give you life. Emotions give you death.
Well, but see, to even know death, you got to know life, right?
No. Anyone that
can't
knows death does not know life.
So, I mean, see, I get that the emotion, logical emotion is to be fulfilled and satisfied.
I'm sorry?
I know that the logical emotion is to be satisfied.
You should never
to be-
satisfy emotions. Emotions are evil. The
No, 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 no.
so-called good
Having the
ones
feeling-
or the bad ones.
I'm talking about having the feeling of satisfaction. You can have the feeling of
The
satisfaction.
feeling of satisfaction is not satisfaction. It's fake.
Look, to understand what enough is for yourself is satisfaction.
No one understands what enough is for themselves.
You can.
How?
Because you can know what having too much is.
Like how?
And you can, by experiencing having too much, and you can experience what having too less is. And then you can
Before,
know.
when you first started out, you said, so you mentioned racism. Now that you understand you are to identify with your color, do you realize racism doesn't exist?
I think that.
Hold on. Can you hold
racism-
on a minute? Oh, it's break time again. Wow. Hold on. Are you able to hold on, John? Yeah. Hold on, John. 888-7753-773. Quick break. One more hour to go. Back in a moment.
Hey, listen, before I ask my question, I want to thank you so much. The silent prayer, I'm 50 years old. At home, we have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And I got to tell you, introducing the silent prayer to my family, instead of just sitting down and saying the same old prayer over and over again before we eat our meal, to just be silent, bringing all thoughts into captivity. Brother, that has been such a huge, huge blessing in our lives. I just want to encourage anyone to try that out. It's amazing to look around after we've done our silent prayer before we eat, to see the excitement in my kids' faces, like, oh yeah, Dad, I had a bunch today. Or the other one will be like, yeah, I had a couple things that I've been thinking about. It really takes root, Jesse, and so I want to thank you so much, and ever since then, it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tony. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. You're going to know God and His love. It's going to be amazing, man.
Justin Bieber becoming a father, or is a father, to a unborn child, apparently, according to the news. Oprah Winfrey is now disavowing diet culture along with Weight Watchers. Now they're for body acceptance and taking drugs. What a mess. And lab-grown meat? This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday, May 10th, AD 2024. Stay tuned for hour 3, last hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Coming right up. Hang tight, callers. The lines are full, I do believe. But as JLP is finishing up with one caller, you can start to call in because he may just be hanging up pretty soon there. And you can get on hold to get on air, to get on with JLP. And the Hake Report is coming up after that. No Joel Friday TV on Fridays, okay? He's only live Monday through Thursday. Only live Monday through Thursday at this point. We'll see what happens, right? American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. Not his usual noon, because it's Friday. Fridays, he's on at 4 p.m. for Nick's stream, taking the flight. It's always a vibe. Best show of the week of the entire network, in my opinion. It's cool. And then, of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. We have that Mother-Daughter, the Fallen State episode at noon Pacific time today. So check all that stuff out if you can. I recommend it. CNN headline, Justin and Hailey Bieber are expecting their first child together. She's expecting. He made her be expecting. Who's giving us a new Nepo baby, say the ladies at the Skim? Hailey Bieber. They only give credit to her. What a mess. Both ways are wrong. So Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, both reported on this. Baby, 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 oh. I never really heard that entire song back when he was a kid, Justin Bieber, the Canadian singer man. I wonder if he said, we're pregnant. What a mess. The couple announced the exciting news, exciting for CNN anyway, on Instagram, both sharing some video that showcases Hailey Bieber's belly. Gross. Why do they always have to show pregnant women's pregnant bellies? But they are Christians, I do believe, so shout out to them. Conservative Trump supporter actor Stephen Baldwin, you may know. He's the youngest of the Baldwin brothers of Alec Baldwin, the anti-Trump guy who killed somebody accidentally, allegedly. Daniel, William Baldwin, and Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin is like the second most famous, I think. He's Haley's dad. She was Hailey Baldwin, and because she's not a full-blown nasty feminist, I guess now she's Hailey Bieber. She's Alec Baldwin's niece. Anyway, Oprah Winfrey says, I set an unrealistic standard for dieting. That's not a direct quote, but CNN says Winfrey, better known as Oprah, said on Thursday she's long played a role in promoting unhealthy and unrealistic diets. That's according to her mouth. I don't know. Maybe she's spewing fake news, disavowing her older, better self. Her younger, better self, I mean. She was speaking at Weight Watchers along with other celebrity females. Rebel Wilson. I can picture her. She's kind of bald. I mean, she's kind of fat and blonde. Amber Riley, not sure who that is. Weight Watchers CEO, female CEO, Seema Sistani, along with doctors and experts. They highlighted a shift away from what they call diet culture for Weight Watchers and towards body acceptance and medical intervention drugs like Ozempic. Weight Watchers now acknowledges, or claims at least, weight loss isn't strictly a matter of willpower, which sounds like a straw man, and that diet culture, whatever that is, and body shaming, a liberal buzzword, isn't healthy. It sounds like they went from one bad thing in the 80s and 90s to another, perhaps worse. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. Oprah told People magazine in December she has added a weight loss medication to her regimen, but did not specify which drug. Are you guys interested in this? Like Hake is interested in this? Maybe not. I think that there is lab-grown meat going on. Lab-grown meat. Alabama and Florida have become the first and second states to ban the sale, distribution, and manufacture of cultivated meat. I don't blame them. But I don't know. Maybe it'll catch on. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth. Huh? Instead of dividing them with lies, we're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already, believe it or not. I'm falling in love. It's the third hour. And you can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. What is real power? What is real power? What is it? Everybody asks, what is real power? And everybody want it. Everybody want real power. Amazing. Hold on a minute, folks. Oh, okay. What is real power? Excuse me. So if you listen to the show by your iPhone or iPad because you're out working out or making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, consider suicide when the rainbow wasn't enough, buying some fentanyl or selling fentanyl or running across the borders, or you're an illegal alien and you're already here and you're making demands on the government to buy you a house, you want free showers, you want to shower as long as you want to, you want certain kind of food, you're making demands. You can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad because I know you have one. We pay for it. Your iPhone or iPad. Thank you. Let me get some water. You could be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad, and I'm going to get this number right by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. Amazing! Amazing. That's 605-615-4131. Watch, they change the number by the time I get accustomed to this one. What now? And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
And I'm going to ask the president
The
to
Wicked
tell us
Witch of the
what
West
they're going
with
to
the low
do
IQ.
to protect this country against violence if he loses.
These people are not your friends.
Right now we have,
right.
young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They
Whoa.
don't know. They don't know these things.
These people are not your friends.
Yes, they are my friends.
I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with.
Here's a crazy video from Ole Miss during a protest last week.
I love it.
Student make during a face he makes during a protest, a racist rant against a black female protester. Since then,
What's
that
she doing
male
out there?
student was kicked out of his fraternity, but Ole Miss says they are still investigating the matter.
Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Now, I rest my case. The Anchor Baby put that video together. I forgot to mention it earlier. The Anchor Baby. Energy given to him by God. I want to go back to a first-time call out of California with John. And John is black. He's black. And he realized he's too into his color. And now he's no longer believe that racism exists. Am I right, John?
Well, I do believe that racism does exist.
Why do you believe that?
Well, because kind of like how we were saying about, it's emotional to be religious. I believe that most people are emotional, and most people act in their emotions. And, you know, when you act in your emotions, you make that reality. You know, us
So you're
logical
saying
people,
that all people are racist?
No, I'm not saying all people are racist.
You just said all people are emotional, and you're right about that. So are you saying that all people are racist?
You know, all people are prejudiced, but I mean, are all people racist? No.
And
no.
how
I
can
mean,
all
hard for me
people
to-
not be racist if they all are emotional?
Well, because everybody else has, like, people have different wants and needs and stuff. Like, so some people aren't even thinking about it. Some people are not even concerned about it, but some people are.
Concerned about what?
But some people are concerned about race. Some people are concerned about race.
But just
Like I-
because they're
like I said-
concerned about it doesn't mean that it's real.
Well, that does mean that it's real because
So what
if you
now?
act out of emotion. Because if you act out of emotion, you create that in reality.
But you
And
create
logical
a
people-
false reality, though. You're not creating true reality. You're
No, no, no,
creating
no, no.
an illusion of
If-
reality.
No, the thing is, if you act out in emotion, it's still displayed in reality. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you were to say logically, you know, racism doesn't exist, right?
Right.
We can logically say that, but when you see people act out of emotion, that happens in reality.
But that
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
mean
So-
that racism is just an evil, emotional person.
Well,
Because emotional
We
people
all-
live in a false sense of reality. They're
we
never
don't
in
just-
real reality.
Remember, you just said that we are all emotional,
Right?
Because there's so many religions that are tied. So it can't be that that this person has a false pretense of this. Everybody's emotional, so you know everybody's half logical and half emotional.
Well,
you know, it's learned-
most people are emotional. A few are starting to overcome emotion because they have realized that emotions are evil, and so they are overcoming. Anyone that has emotion is an evil, cruel, nasty person, right? A nasty human
Well-
being. And so some people overcoming that, but most people are not, because most people love their hell. They love hell.
Well, but you have to realize that if you are only logical, you're not feeling anything. Like if I eat
So what
healthy,
now?
you know, if I do all this, huh?
You say what now?
If you live logical, you don't experience, like, you don't feel anything.
If
like,
you're
as far as emotion.
logical, you don't feel anything?
Yeah, like if I eat healthy, right? I'm not doing it for the flavor. I'm not doing it for the taste. I'm doing it for the benefit of my growth. You know, if I walk and do all these healthy things, I'm doing it for the health, not necessarily because it feels good.
But
So I'm not really.
Those are practical things that we have to do in order to survive on the earth. But that's not
Right,
life.
but what's the point of surviving if you're not living?
Most people are not living.
But to feel is to live.
That's not true.
What is the point of having a robot? A robot doesn't feel anything. He does what he does, but a robot does what he does because we don't feel like doing what we want to do. You know, if we didn't have these feelings, we wouldn't even know what relaxed felt like. We wouldn't even understand what gratification felt like. We wouldn't understand what hate felt like, or you know. And in the word love, you know, I understand that. I understand the mental psychology about the idea of love, but we wouldn't feel, you know, all these other things that we can express through music. We wouldn't even have good music. We would have horrible music, horrible art. You know, we wouldn't be able to.
We don't have
expression.
good music. We have horrible music.
I'm talking about throughout the
We have
times
a
of music.
horrible art. We have the horrible everything because people are emotional.
But that should inspire you to create your form of great art. Do you see how great that is? Because if that creates disparity in yourself, then that'll inspire you to do something that's even better to yourself.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Else.
Joel want to say something about all this, and he's coming. You know who Joel is? He black.
I never know.
Joel
Okay.
Friday. He has a show here Monday through Thursdays at 11 a.m. and he black. And you should make sure you check him out.
Okay.
Joel want to say something about racism and how bad this music is because.
Okay.
Isn't music awful?
I wouldn't say that music is awful. I wouldn't say that music is awful, but
I've never heard anything lately in years with good music.
there's good stuff out there. But at the end of the day,
Go ahead.
like at the end of the day,
This is Joel Friday TV.
it's all emotional stuff that oftentimes is coming from the ego,
Right.
right?
Emotions are evil.
So, but there is like decent stuff that's out there.
Like
But-
what?
You gotta have a good balance. That's the chemical mixture is having the best balance of logic and emotion.
No.
Well, see, the thing is about the emotion thing, I have to disagree with. Is it John?
Yes.
John.
John from California.
I have to disagree, John, is
And he
because
black.
life doesn't have anything to do with emotion. Life is the light of God within, which gives you the right energy in all things. And emotion.
Well, he don't believe in God.
Oh, he's an atheist?
And emotions what?
Yeah, because that's an emotional attachment to a religion.
Hold
Exactly.
on,
You have
about
an
the
emotional
God. Hold
attachment.
on. You about to say, and then I'll let you respond, John.
Yeah, the emotions aren't life. They're the false version of life. Life is the light within the spirit, and that's emotionless. And a lot of people think that if you don't have feelings, you're not into feelings, that makes you a robot. That's not true. It's that you're not responding to or identifying with emotions. Not doesn't mean that you don't have them, but you're not identifying with them. But the light of God within is emotionless and it's of life, not like this emotional ego attachment to things. What do you think about
Am I
that?
able to respond?
Yeah,
Am
go
I able
ahead,
to
John.
respond?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I do agree that acting out of emotion is illogical. I can completely understand that. Completely agree with that. But that's why I also talk about satisfaction and fulfillment. That's the best emotion.
What?
But satisfaction and fulfillment, understanding what enough is enough.
Not true.
You have to understand
That's not
what enough
true,
is enough
John.
is.
Not true.
You have to understand. You got to understand. You got to. I'll give you an example. You know, if you eat a lot of food, you eat so much food, your stomach get full. You know, that's bad. You know, your stomach hurting and all that stuff.
Every time I eat
really,
some rib and sweet potato, that happens.
right? You can't do nothing. You sometimes, or especially
Right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You be like, dang man, why'd I eat so much? Right? Because you ate too much. Right?
Yeah.
Eventually, you have to learn what enough is. Because once you learn what enough is, you don't have to think about your stomach. You can logically think about your day.
But you can't compare. You can't. What you're doing is you're comparing spiritual things to physical things, and it's not the same.
Spiritual things, but is that an emotional tie to religion you got?
Nope.
Okay, so what is the spirit?
Did you say you are atheist?
Yeah.
You are atheist?
Oh.
Yeah.
You black?
I'm black.
How did you become an atheist and you black?
Because I didn't believe, because I was raised Baptist, and I just, for some reason, I just was like, why God ain't here right now doing stuff? Why is there so many holes in this Bible?
No
Why are
wonder.
there so many
Yeah,
things
man.
that people just don't want to answer?
Yeah.
And then, I was like, it just must be an emotional tie that people have to like this cultural belief that they want to believe. And I'm not, knocking it, I think it's good and it brings a lot of morals to the world because if people were just thinking about just doing whatever, I think that's horrible, I think that I'm glad that it brings morals because I don't got to worry about somebody breaking into my spot and killing me because they like my stuff, But
Can I say
Yeah.
one thing though, John,
But on
is
the-
that one thing that's being missed, and you should at least be open to, because I know you're an atheist and you don't believe in God and stuff like that. But one thing that is missing is that a lot of people who are non-believers, even some people who will believe, like Christians, miss the fact that there's a whole nother energy source in life that has nothing to do with emotions or anger or any of that stuff that is of the light. And there's a whole new different type of life insight and understanding. And that's the part that you're missing in what you're saying.
Well, but humans definitely put a lot of emphasis. Humans definitely put a lot of emphasis on the creation of themselves, like there's not a big old universe outside of Earth, right? And it's crazy, like
Are you a flat earther?
No.
You believe the Earth is
No, I'm
flat or
logical.
round?
Around, come on, bro. I'm logical, bro. Come on, come on, bro. I'm logical. Like I've received enough evidence. I've received enough evidence to make a good judgment. You know what I mean?
Sean, come here for a minute. I have a flat earther I want you to meet. And you white. John.
Okay.
John.
Yeah.
John is a round earther. This is my producer, John, and he is a flat earther. And he ain't no Christian either.
We just found out.
we just found out he's not a Christian. He believes the earth flat. I don't know what else going wrong here.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
And so,
how's it going?
John, tell Sean your proof that the earth is round.
The earth is round because, you know, when you look out in the ocean, you don't see forever, you know, like you see this, like you can go on the Atlantic coast, you know, I know you've probably been on a cruise, you've probably been from the West Coast or the East Coast. Every time you get in the middle of the ocean, bro, like you don't know where you're at. Like, how is it possible to, and it's not like this one spot, like, on the ocean, like, it's like, it depends on how far you go off the coast type deal, you know what I mean? So, like, why is it that I can't see China, you feel me? Because I know that there's not, like, a whole lot of, like, this is I don't know, level, I'm assuming this is sea level, so I'm assuming there's not, like, big boulders or big, like, things in the way, because literally I see nothing going all the way down there. I just see like, go ahead.
Oh, I guess it is round.
I'm just asking, bro. I was just asking, like when you're in the middle of the ocean,
what's
literally,
your
like
response to him?
How much have you actually looked into flat Earth? Like how much research have you actually
logical,
done?
Bro. I'm just a logical guy, bro. Like
no, that wasn't the question.
I know.
I mean, I just you know, to
how much
Google
have
it,
you actually
know?
looked? How much have you actually looked into it?
You know, I think Joe Rogan podcast.
Also not the question.
I mean, that's about as much, you know, as far as flat Earth.
And so how much have you looked into it? His question is.
Probably not as much as you did, probably zero.
Yeah. How much have you done it?
What, is looking into flat Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably not much.
You done a little bit?
He said he looked at the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, but I guess that wasn't really the plan for flat
went on a
Earth.
cruise.
That was kind of like, that wasn't kind of like to prove flat Earth, but that was kind of like to prove that the Earth was round, I guess.
Because of time, what do you say, John? I mean, Sean.
You know, they say that looking into flat Earth, it literally takes about a year of actually genuinely looking into it for you to start to actually question whether you've been wrong this whole time. So it takes about a year of actually wanting to know. And, you know, if you want to know, you would have looked into it. But you don't seem to want to know.
But my answer was pretty logical, right? But my answer.
That you went on a
if
cruise and you
Earth
looked into the ocean and you couldn't see China?
No, you can't. Yeah, if you go too far off of the coast, you can't see anything. You can't see where you're from.
You also can't see Joel because he's black and he's so far off.
It's not a logical. If I could just, it's not a logical thing that you can go in the ocean and not see China. You're not gonna be able to. You know how far that is.
I can see Russia
you're not
from
gonna
here.
You're not gonna be able to see. So that's not a logical indicator that the world is round because you can't see it.
I think the world is round because I can't see what shoes Kim Jong-un is wearing today.
No. I'm saying there's a curve in the ocean. There's a curve in the ocean. You can go to as far off. I can't remember what the distance is with the actual average sight distances, but you go this far off of the ocean, off the coast of the world.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see any landmass. F China, you can't see any landmass unless it's within the sight distance. And are you saying that, because our sight distance may not be far enough that we can't see that? We can get a telescope. No matter how much you look at the side of the surface of the ocean, there's no rocky mountains and nothing going up and going down. This is probably the most straight surface you're going to see.
Well, you started this.
Over...
You started this call talking about racism, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think that it's possible that you've been lied to about racism your whole entire life?
Well,
do you think it's possible that that's the case?
No. Logically, like I said, yeah, absolutely. Logically, I know that racism can't exist to everybody.
No one.
Emotionally.
No, that wasn't the question.
Right.
Do you think that it's possible that you've been lied to your whole life about racism? Do you think that's possible? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay, so it's also possible that you've been lied to your whole entire life about things like round Earth.
Not if I look at the logic. I mean, the logic's not gonna lie to me.
That's the atheist. That's the atheist.
Say,
You know, Hake likes to say something very profound. He says, facts aren't always truth, or something like that. Facts aren't always truth. So you might think logically about things, and you might take facts and take them the wrong way. A lot of people, when they talk about racism, they talk about the facts of police brutality and the facts of the criminal justice system and how more people are incarcerated from this or that race. But they take those facts and they interpret them in the wrong way, and they assume the wrong truth about them.
Let me do this because of time. Last word, Sean.
Yeah, you just go ahead and keep believing it's around.
Yeah.
Just really quick on the logic thing is that no matter what you do, the world is so large, and I'm not a flat earther or a Baltar or whatever they call it. I'm just observing. But no matter what you do, the world is so large, so you're not going to be able to see a curvature or not if one's there. It's too big to be like, oh, the end of the ocean's going to curve off. That means it's round Earth. It's too large. If you've seen it, you'll never see a curve because
don't you remember
it's constantly around things. But anyway.
It's kind of like looking at a fat black woman. You never see the curve.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
It ain't there.
It's cold-blooded. You know, that's the whole Columbus story, man. Listen, why he fall off the earth? Why he... Yeah.
You about to say something?
No.
John, let me ask this, and I got it right. You can call me again. Have you forgiven your mother?
My mother?
Yeah.
What? Of course I love my mother.
No, have you forgiven her?
Of course. I've watched your show plenty of times.
You forgave your mother?
Of course. Huh?
You forgave your mother?
Of course.
You told her?
Yes.
You told your mother you forgive her?
Yeah, I've told her that.
And what she said when you told her you forgive her, you were sorry for hating her?
She says, it's okay, son.
Oh, Lord. How old are you?
I'm 35.
And you forgave your father?
Ooh, he passed away.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I forgave him.
All right. Well, do decide.
I'm not gonna lie though. I learned a lot about being a man watching your show though. That's amazing.
Nice. Stay with it, man. Do the silent prayers. Stay with it. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Call me again, buddy.
All right.
See you, John.
See ya.
All right. I have only one question for you, and I gotta go, Joel.
Okay.
Did you wear that dirty white T-shirt so you didn't know you were gonna be on the show today?
It's dirty.
Oh, it don't look like you're supposed to be wearing it without something.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
What the?
Oh, that look fine?
Yeah, white shirts are alpha.
Oh, that's why it looked like that?
What does it look
I don't
like?
see any dirt. It's got a little lint on it.
No, it looked like he didn't know he was going to be on the show.
What do you mean? Is it the shadow from the... What about now?
Oh.
I think it was the shadow from
yeah,
the
that's what it was. Sorry, folks. It looked fine.
Take it back.
Yeah, I take it back. It was because of shadow there.
Everybody's about to be cooking me in the chat.
And he didn't know he was going to be on the show. Amazing. All right. All right.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Amazing. Let me go to Chris, a first-time caller out of Georgia. Chris, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, glad to be here, JLP. Where have you been all my life?
Amazing. I'm here now, Chris. Thanks for calling.
Good, good. I just want to let you know, yeah, I am white.
You white?
I'm white. White as rice on a paper plate in the middle of a snowstorm. I've been married for this year be 23 years. I'm 49 years old. I was a Bible thumper all my life. I know it's not Bible Thumper Thursday, but, I kind of knew, growing up in a Southern Baptist church down in South Georgia that, you just believe in, what you're taught and what you're indoctrinated with. I guess I see that now. Our marriage has been pretty good over the years. But here, I started listening to you about 3 to 4 weeks ago. Let's call it 4 weeks, say a month. I've probably logged in about, Lord knows how many videos, 400 or so. I probably listen to you about 8 to 10 hours a day, all day during work, then my trip to work, trip home, and then at the house. My wife, 2 weeks ago, at first she thought, oh, that's funny. I like the way he talks. Yeah, it's funny. But then all of a sudden, I think things started hitting her, started hitting her in the back of the head like, what's going on here? What's he talking about? And she, about 2 weeks ago, it was a day I went to go forgive my father. My father's been dead for about 2 or 3 years. He and I were never really close because I was misled as a kid.
Yeah.
And I realize that now it's, I couldn't believe it because I thought my mama was an angel.
No such thing.
When you really helped me open my eyes, I realized that, a lot of things that happened as a kid, she would lightly just plant it in my head like, your daddy's not going to be able to come see you this weekend. I'm so sorry for you, stuff like that. Because they were split up when I was a baby. I don't even remember it.
Right.
So anyway, I went to go forgive my dad about 2 or 3 months ago. I don't know why I went, but I went to the
do me a favor.
graveside.
Hold that thought right there. Let me take a quick break. 888-7753-773. A quick break. When I come back, we're going to move as many cars as possible. The board is smoking. Everybody and their mama. If you're black, everybody and their mama. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, let me do the rundown real fast. The rundown. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then after the Hake Report, a brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv I had an amazing conversation with Leslie and her daughter Lindsay and Glass. Leslie and Lindsay Glass, and they are a mother and daughter author, duo, and co-founder of the nonprofit organization Reach Out Recovery. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I put down drugs and alcohol a long time ago. I don't want to say I got involved with the bad crowd. I was the bad crowd.
My daughter was not doing well. I knew there was something wrong.
Who is Lindsay?
She's my better half. I lost myself when I lost my daughter.
You're not yourself. You are your mother, and you're never going to have peace until you become you.
Wow, what an experience. And I really understand and relate to what you're saying.
Amazing discussion today at 12 noon, Pacific time, brand new episodes of The Fallen State. Amazing, huh? And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby, flying high on natural energy given to him by God. You don't want to miss your ride today with the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And church on Sunday, last but not least, church on Sunday at 11 a.m., doors open at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and meetings start at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And for personalized shout-outs, I do them for you. And go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson for personal shout-outs, wedding, birthdays, anniversaries, encouragement, and blah, blah, blah. All right? And to get a free copy, we put out a brand new newsletter right now. It's out in the mail already. For if you like to get a free copy of the newsletter, go to rebuildingtheman.com/subscribe, rebuildingtheman.com/subscribe at no cost to you, all right? Let me go quickly back to Chris. And Chris is having some issues with his wife, first-time caller out of Georgia. Chris, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So, as I was saying, kind of what happened was about 2 weeks ago, I just forgiven my father. Well, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I come back home, my wife, I could just see kind of anger in her.
Yes.
And so I was like, I need to avoid this. I can see what's coming down here. And so I, kind of avoided it. She started arguing about something about I didn't bring her back a burger or something. But I could have stepped on a cricket outside and she would have said, why'd you step on that cricket?
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it go. And we got to a little bit of an argument. And I'm sitting there, watching TV, and she comes up and nails me in the back of the head with her fist.
Wow.
And I jumped up before I realized it, and within about a second and a half, I slapped her in the face. Now, I didn't slap her full force, but I used like half of like the tips of my fingertip, just enough to let her know I'm here.
Yes.
But I didn't mean, I've never hit her before. But it just flew all over me, and I slapped her, and I said, hit me again. And she hauled off and hit me in the jaw again.
Wow.
And I just kind of tapped her in the jaw. I didn't hurt her. It swelled up just a little bit, but it wasn't enough to do anything. But I realized my anger. I walked outside. I said, this is never going to happen again. I will never, ever do this again. And I've listened to your videos where you say if something like that happened, call the police.
Right. Did you
talk
ever
to
arrest
them.
her?
I did not.
Why not?
I will. It was just, I hadn't heard that yet. I hadn't thought about that at the time. Now, since that's happened, I have I understand it now, and if it does ever happen again, I promise she's going to jail, and I will tell them to throw away the key.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I can't have that. And I've got two boys. I've got a 20-year-old that's coming around, and me and him's been actually listening to you too, thank God. He's getting on the right path. He's starting to realize what she's done to him. And I've got a 16 or 15-year-old she's trying to get him in her clutches and I'm trying to bring him back over.
Right.
Get him out of her clutches.
Yes.
But even after that happened, she walked outside after I walked outside to get away from it. She said, "I want you to leave. You're out of here. I want a divorce." I said, "We can get a divorce, but I ain't going nowhere. This is my house."
That's right. Amazing.
I mean, I've been working all my life to get this. You're more than welcome to get out of here, but I ain't going nowhere. And the kids are staying here, and you can take the dogs. So I'm tired of dealing with them anyway.
That's right.
So it's. But what gets me is, here the past 2 weeks, she'll go lay in the bed when I get home from work. She don't want to be around me and everything. And of course, I'm sitting here watching your videos, or pretty much I just can't get enough of it because it's really resonating with me because of how I was raised.
Yes.
And all the things I've been thinking all my life. And when I first started watching you, it just popped up. I was watching a Charlie Kirk video one day, which is a guy, he's with Candace Owens and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And yours popped up, and I said, "Who's this guy?" And I clicked on the Buddha. I said, "Oh, yeah, here we go." So it's been fantastic, and I can't believe out of all the knowledge I've had all my life that I've been so blind, and you opened it up, and it's like a whole different world. It ain't even like, I don't understand it. I never would have thought that this would ever happen because of what I've been taught all my life.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to thank you, but I'm having trouble with my wife, and I'd just like to know, I know you said you can't bring anybody out of that. God has to do that. He has to get in her heart and work with her.
Right.
But I'm at the point right now where I'm thinking, do I leave? That's a hard thing to do after 23 years and 2 kids, and he's almost 16. I thought, well, maybe I'll wait till he's 16 and see what happens, but maybe it's not God's timing yet. Maybe God will change it. Maybe I need to wait. And I want to get your opinion on that.
Here's what I highly recommend from this day forward, from this moment. Never argue with her again. Don't argue with her when she try to pull you in an argument. Do not do it, because that's the devil in her, the evil in her, trying to stop you from overcoming evil. And so never argue with the devil. So don't argue with it ever again, no matter what. And then don't argue with the devil inside of your mind, because the devil does not want to depart from you. And so now that the light is shining on you, inside of you from God, the devil going to come at you in all kinds of ways. But don't argue, don't worry about it. Just watch him. Don't call it good or evil, but watch it. And so stop arguing with your wife. No matter how she try to argue with you, don't go with it, not for 1 second. And if anybody leave, it'll be her. Or she might just realize, I got to overcome this hell too. She might do it. Yeah. But you work on you, because it's hard when one or the other is not working on themselves. It's hard for the one that is working on themselves, because the devil hates the light that's in you now. So just you speak up, but don't argue, and just stay with the silent prayer and watch, and you'll see what to do. Whatever meant to be is going to happen naturally. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, and I got you. I'm with you 100%, and I can see that actually clearly now, which I couldn't a month ago.
Yes.
Yes. But it's crazy how it just it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like you said,
you're dealing with evil out inside of your mind and emotions, and inside of others. But don't argue with them. Don't try to prove anything. You don't owe them any conversation at all. And just watch those thoughts. Go about your day. Do your life. Watch those thoughts. And you'll see God is with you, and he'll take care of everything, including the evil inside of you.
Okay. And when I'm talking to other people as well, like a friend or something, I know not to be pushy because a lot of times that'll lead people in the wrong direction, but I'd like for them to know. But, I mean, really, I have to work on myself, so
Right, just
it's not
work
like
on
I'm
you.
trying to bring everybody.
Yeah, don't try to teach anyone or anything. You just work on you, and God will He will speak through you. He will use your mouth. He will use your words and everything when it's time to bring somebody else into it. Don't do that because
Okay.
if you go out in your excitement of waking up and you try to tell other people about it, they're going to be hating you for it, and they'll try to
I've noticed
destroy
that.
They'll try to destroy you.
Yeah, they do. That is 100% true. I didn't think it was like that, but it's almost like they hate you because you're trying to. So I just backed off and said, you know what, whatever. I got to take care of me.
That's right. That's right. And it's not them, but it's the evil in them that now hate the good in you, and so they
Yeah.
can't help themselves.
I understand that. And I don't hold any grudges on them.
Yeah.
It's that's just the way the world is, and I'm glad to be able to see that. I've got one quick question about. I don't want to take up much of your time. I know it's getting late, but the silent prayer. I just want to make a comment. The first week or two, I had an issue with not really having thoughts pop up.
Right.
And I was kind of like trying to force myself to do that, and like trying to think about something, and I catch it, and it just disappears. It's not like I'm having to fight it or anything. Like
nice.
Now, the past week, it'll like a thought will come in there, and I might get drawn into it for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then I'm like, boy, you pretty deceitful, devil. You got me on that one. And I just back up and I just sit there and think. I don't say that, but it's just like it'll pop up and then it'll disappear, and I'm thinking in my mind, well, how's he doing this? I mean, and now they're starting to roll a little faster. Like I'll have them 2 or 3 seconds, and they boom disappear. Because I realize that it's happening, and it happens at work. I might get drawn into something for 5 or 10 seconds, and then I just kind of snap out of it, like, wow. Is
nice.
that normal?
Yes, it's normal, abnormal, because you're going in and out of thought, but just watch them, and don't let the devil tell you, oh, it's not working. You're having all these thoughts. If you have a bunch of thought, watch it. If you have no thought, watch it. You are the watcher, and God is the light. You'll be fine.
Okay. So it's not all right to acknowledge that was a thought that the devil put in my head. I mean, it's okay to acknowledge that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I kind of misunderstood you sometimes because you said don't react to it, just sit back and watch it.
Yes.
But when I understand it comes up, it disappears. I can't watch it.
Right on. But no, when you see it, it has to disappear. The devil doesn't want you to see him. That's the light of God.
Oh.
Right? So he doesn't want.
I got you.
That's why when you see it, they disappear. But if you don't catch them in time, then you'll be in them. But just relax and let that pass too.
I see that in my wife whenever something happens, like my son, she's wanting him to go to public school. I'm wanting him to go into homeschool.
Yeah.
And the other night we got into it. I said, look, I'd rather him quit school because I quit in the 9th grade, and I was better off for it, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I've made a very good living for myself.
Absolutely.
I've had my own business. I'm the boss everywhere I go. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, it's always kind of folded out for me because I work hard for it. And but after we got through with that conversation, I was like, I do not want him back in the public school. She sat there on the couch for about 10 minutes, like in a daze. And I was in the kitchen, and I just stood there, and I just looked at her. She didn't know I was looking at her, and I was like, it's 10 minutes. Like, she is deep. And I want to bring her out, help. No, I can't bring her out. God can. But I wanted to help her, but I can't.
You can't. Only God can help her. If she's not ready to be helped, there's nothing you can do.
And I thought she was an angel too, Jesse. I thought my mama was an angel too, and my daddy was old drunk womanizer that never had nothing to do with me, and it's all been a lie.
Well, stay with it, Chris. I gotta run, but stay with it. Yeah. Stay with it. Stay with it. All right.
Thank you, Jesse. You're wonderful.
Thank you, man. Stay with it. Let me hear from you again.
All right, will do. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Anne Marie is out of California. Anne Marie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Anne Marie.
Hey, okay, I have a question. I've been wanting to call you forever, but I always chicken out. But I'm dealing with a family member. It's an offspring. I should just say it. My daughter. She's 35 years old, and she's full of anger and dealing with addiction issues. And every time I try to help her or lead her in the right direction, because she comes to me with her problems, and then I try to solve her problems, and then she is super angry and takes out everything on me. So what I'm wondering is, I get different opinions from friends of mine, and most people say to cut her off, don't talk to her anymore, just let her be. There's nothing that I can do. So I'm wondering what you would say about that with a parent dealing with an adult child who is dealing with addiction issues and is super angry.
Have you told her that you were sorry for the thing you went wrong with concerning her?
Absolutely,
Okay.
I have, and she's 35, and I've done it several times throughout her adult life.
Well,
And,
but for now, then leave her alone. Let her suffer until she's ready to wake up. Don't let her destroy your life. Don't waste your money on her. Don't let her in your house to be stealing your stuff and all that. And don't let her make you feel guilty about anything. You have admitted when you went wrong. That's all you can do.
I did, and I have several times, and every time she pulls me in to save her or help her or whatever, she completely turns on me every time, like we're back to square one, and I just realized...
When she
I'm
says she's
56.
sorry, Anne-Marie, she doesn't mean it. It's just another setup. When people say they're sorry, they don't mean it. They just want to set
is
you
a
up for
setup.
another day.
Oh my goodness, it is a setup. I do feel guilty. I can't get rid of this guilt feeling.
But you know, there's nothing for you to feel guilty. There is no you to be feeling guilty. You ever apologize for where you went wrong? Stop listening to the devil about these false feeling of guilt. You're not. That's not you.
Yes, that's true. I mean, it's like I'm finally to the point. I had a heart attack. This has been going on her whole adult life, and I had a heart attack a few years ago. And ever since then, I've really changed I'm very calm. I used to have anger problems. But yes, I apologize to all three of my kids. Very heartfelt. I did it with all of them together and separately.
Right on.
And I feel like the punishment never ends. And
No.
so, yeah, that's why I wanted to finally hear from you, really, because I listen to you every day. I keep hearing you tell people you can't save people from their hell.
No,
And
leave
for some
people in
reason-
their hell, including your kids.
Yeah, so it's okay to let go and just let them live their life. And
You can't save them. Just work on you now and wish them well. You've apologized. That's all you can do. But do not let them into your life to destroy you.
see, and that's the other part of the question. And I appreciate what you're saying. You know about the whole forgiveness thing.
Yeah.
I tend to be a very forgiving person since I was a child. As soon as somebody apologizes to me, I want to let them off the hook, and I don't even want them to finish
When
what
people
they're saying.
apologize, they don't mean it. Stop that.
They don't. You're right. They don't. They have to show it, right?
They
Over
have
time.
to. They don't mean it. They just apologize so they can stay a day longer and destroy you. Move
And
on
get
with
in
your
your life
life
again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you, Jesse.
I wish you well.
You're the best. Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye now. Super chat.
Super chat.
I forgot to open the treasure chest on D-Line.
Oh, did you you still haven't opened it, huh?
I forgot. Oh Lord. Keep it out.
All right, we're opening it, fellas, I guess. No chest, move along. Over on, speaking of DLive, DLive.tv/Jesse Lee Peterson, Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Maxine Waters is looking for MAGA Republicans in Chicago with Juicy Smollett.
That's funny. What an evil,
Jesse.
nasty woman.
Aries 1 gave a diamond with no message. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's me, Zenya, says, I walk around Walmart with my Your Daddy Didn't Leave You t-shirt.
Nice.
He left your mama.
That's right. Daddies don't leave their children. Daddies leave their mother, the mother of the children, because they can't handle her. They don't know how to deal with the evil in the mother. Nice. Thank you.
Sweet. And you can get those rebuildingtheman.com/stores, and it's in one of the Jesse Lee Peterson stores.
Right.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, this is another thing I wanted to mention. When fathers allow the mother to spiritually abuse the son or daughter, for what reason, I don't know, but it's so sad to see fathers be so darn weak, he said a different word, that he won't protect his children from the mother.
Thank you, Mike. Don't be sad about it, but thank you.
Yeah. Another Mike bought a coffee. Zook says, Jesse, I haven't heard you speak on South Africa in a while. Are all the blacks still held to pay down there?
Oh, yeah.
Are the blacks, not all of them.
It's even worse in South Africa now. Poor white people. When I say poor white people, they're getting what they deserve because they should stand up to the blacks. But it's bad in South Africa. I'll have to deal with that some more. Thank you.
Cafe Mocha bought 3 coffees. Hey, Jesse and crew, keep up the amazing work. I've been working on myself, and I've never imagined the insanity that has made a home within me. What a mess.
Yeah, what a mess. If you really want to know what hell look like, look at yourself. And you're going to understand it with everybody else, but look at yourself. Thank you.
Dawn on Rumble Rant, getting ready to see Trump on the Jersey Shore.
Nice.
Coastal flood warnings, and I'm headed down anyway. May the waves and wind obey him tomorrow. No fear. And if it's a trap, 10,000 will fall at my side.
What manner of man is this? The wind and sea obey him. Thank you.
And she continues with another Rumble rant. Of course, if it's too dangerous, I will stay practical and choose safety when possible. I just believe it's going to be the best rally yet.
Right on. Oh, I wish I was there. Thank you.
Cy Locked donated a diamond on D-Live. Callers need some coffee today to wake up.
Amazing. Thank you. And tell Trump I said hello.
Don? Yeah.
Yeah, tell him, Don.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Joe Biden needs to go away and take Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi with him.
That's for sure. Amazing. Thank you.
It's midnight. Your Uber driver bought a coffee. Jesse, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or 5 black liberal lesbians?
A bear. So that would be like being stuck in here with a bear. Thank you.
BMW 007. Hi, Jesse and crew. Jesse, I let the thoughts get me pregnant. What the? They told me to look in my husband's phone, and I found schmonography, porn. And they told me to have lots of sex, and the women going to have the sex. Shaking her head emoji.
What a mess.
It's a mess.
I'm telling you, what a mess. Stay out of your thought. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Thank you.
It's me, Xenia. I'm dealing with a bitter mama and little sister who had brought her down to their personal hell. Focusing on myself has never felt so good. Thanks for your advice, JLP.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Bucket Mouth, 5 coffees. They're trying to take away my Jesus. The family had an intervention led by Satan himself, wife. She said, they want the old me back. I said, you're out of luck. Once you see the light, you can't go back into darkness. Thank you, Jesse.
That's right. You can't go back. Nothing to go back to. Nobody want to go back to hell. What now? Thank you.
JV the Great. What do you think about Bob Marley's music?
Who?
Bob Marley.
That's pot.
The Jamaican guy. He's dead now.
Oh,
I think he's dead.
I like some of his music. I haven't heard it so long.
Yeah.
But I remember liking some of it.
Same.
Yeah.
FK Skid Marks bought a donation Rumble rant. To Jesse and crew, do y'all believe in karma?
Well, I haven't seen her in a while, but the last time I saw her, she had gotten fat.
Same.
Thank you.
I believe you reap what you sow. And that's the Christian version. Dawn says, biblical question.
What is real power?
Forgiveness of your enemy without feeling anything about it.
Thank you.
And FK Skid Marks also answers, what is real power? To be able to forgive. I can go slap my mama, but I still don't have the power to forgive her. Beta.
I'll respond on Sunday to both of you. Thank you.
Tim bought a coffee. Jesse James, what the? I have 2 questions. Were racism and other hate subsets created by evil to prevent us from seeing that there's a spiritual battle rather than physical? Because that's my understanding. I buy these coffees, want to know if I can use these donations for tax purposes. If so, amazing. If not, what the? No, these are not tax-deductible donations. You have to go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 1-800-411-BOND to do tax-deductible donations to Bond directly.
Right on. Thank you for that, too. Racism is not real, never has been real, cannot be real, won't be real. It's a made-up word.
Yeah, it's not a subset of hate.
No.
But thank you.
Thank you.
It was invented, though, to push the line.
Right. Absolutely.
Evgeny Crosby, shout out. Psylocked, Aries 1, Kid Combo 1.0. Thank you guys for supporting on D Live. I think that's all for now.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. I am so out of time. It's not even funny. I'll see you on Sunday. Get on that straight and narrow, or just stay there. You will not regret it. I'm telling you, I promise you. If you stay there, stay, and endure to the end, you will get the prize. Really, it'll be amazing. Do the silent prayer, forgive your mothers. Everyone has to forgive their mother and return to their father if you want perfect peace. The Hake Report is coming up now. And then the Anchor Baby at 4. Kurt is the first time call out in New York. Melissa is back from Pennsylvania, right? Melissa, you called too late today. Call me Monday. Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Darren out of Texas. And the caller just dropped. I'm just totally out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. Happy birthday again, Mary. Enjoy your birthday. Amazing! And happy Mother's Day to all the ladies, all the mothers. Take care, everybody. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, or how much you have or don't have, or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.